Welcome to our third installment of the For Better or Worse series. I've already covered Brian Poole and Kalichio Semele. I'll link those down in the description if you haven't seen those. This time we are going to be looking at Avery Williamson and C.J. Mosley. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Now, I was going to do this as a C.J. Mosley versus Darren Lee because Avery Williamson is still going to be on our team and he's still going to be playing on the field with Mosley. But I decided it was probably a better comparison to compare signal caller versus signal caller and just sort of see which one is better between Williamson and Mosley. So, if you haven't seen this before, how does the game work? We are going to take our old player and our new player and compare them together to see if we are better or worse than we were previously. For this round, we're going to look at 8 different categories: their contract, their Pro Football Focus grade, their games played, snaps played, tackles. Then we're going to look at sacks, tackles for loss, and QB hits, since they're all negative impact plays for the offense behind the line of scrimmage. We're going to look at turnovers, both interceptions, fumble recoveries, and fumbles. And then we're going to look at pass deflections, so how good are they in pass coverage. And then we're going to take a look at penalties as well. Now, as far as contract goes, Avery Williamson signed a 3-year, $22.5 million deal. He has 2 years left in that contract, so roughly $7.5 million a year. C.J. Mosley just signed a 5-year, $85 million deal, so $17 million per year. So Williamson is going to get a check as far as money goes. In terms of Pro Football Focus grade, both these guys have been in the league the last 5 years, so I took the average over that. 68.8 for Williamson, 71.82 for Mosley. Over the course of the last 2 years, Williamson has had a 77.25, while Mosley has had a 73.1, so it's kind of a wash. Williamson has done a little bit better as of late, but Mosley has been the more consistent of the two over the 5 years. In terms of games played, there's not going to be an issue in terms of health for either of these guys. Williamson has 79 of 80 games played, while Mosley has 77 of 80 games played. When we look at snap count, this is a little skewed because if cornerbacks are giving up a ton of catches or something and first downs keep getting accumulated, obviously the player on the worst defense that has to stay on the field longer is going to have more snaps. But as far as a snap count goes, Avery Williamson, 4,973 snaps, Mosley, 5,138 snaps. So pretty much a wash there as well. As far as tackles go, Williamson was 497 tackles, while Mosley was 597 tackles. So Mosley has had more of an impact as far as tackling players go in the snaps that he has been given versus Williamson. We start to see a little bit more of a separation here in terms of sacks, tackles for loss, and QB hits. Williamson has 65.5, while Mosley has 83.5, so check for Mosley here. As far as our turnovers are concerned, Williamson has 11. Mosley has forced and recovered 20, although he did fumble the ball once, so he has, technically 19 if you want to count it that way. So check mark for Mosley as well. When we look at their pass coverage grades as far as the amount of pass breakups they have, Williamson has 14, while Mosley has 35, so another check mark goes to Mosley. As far as penalties are concerned, we're starting to see this a little bit more in the last 2 videos that I did. The penalties have actually increased for the new player coming in as opposed to the old player that they're replacing. Williamson, over the 5 years, has had 7 penalties for 46 yards. Mosley has had 16 penalties for 139 yards. Now, Mosley didn't have any penalties in 2018, and he only had 2 for 25 in 2017, so he is doing well. It's not like we're going to see a ton of penalties over the course of this dude's career. It's relatively, reasonable as far as linebackers are concerned. Overall, I think Mosley is absolutely an improvement over Williamson, but I think where we're going to see the biggest benefit is Williamson replacing Darren Lee. And now I probably could have done a video about that, but, we're talking about the new guy here. So let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think of C.J. Mosley? As always, go Jets. J-E-T-S